So today I'm at Universal Studios and I'm about to embark on the Universal Studios VIP tour. This is the VIP area up here on the second floor.
I've kind of stayed spoiler free on all of it, but
hello. We have juice and coffee, all kinds of photos. Oh, look at that one. From Universal's history, nice little sitting area, pretty balcony outside, and the breakfast area over here. So the meals, the breakfast comes with the VIP experience out here at Universal. It's quite yummy looking. And we're gonna go on a little tour of the studio and see what the day brings. Director Steven Spielberg wall. And there was a rejection letter that he received back in 1965. Look at that. It's unlikely there will be opportunities for summer employment on the lot at the present time. Wow. All right, we're gonna get started with the tour. Out here at Universal Studios, there's this Hogwarts set up. They said it will not look like this by the time we come back, so capturing a moment in time here. Looks pretty incredible. Getting ready to board the tram or the bus for our VIP tour.
And here we go.
I want to damage my instrument, strain it. I need it. It's going to be a long story. All right. Welcome aboard our whole property, our theme park and studio combined just under 400 square acres of property. Sing along if you know the words. As we leave the theme park for a while and take you inside the heart of a real working motion picture and television studio that's been functioning on this property for over 100 years. Opening day was March 15th of 1915, and since then we've been making movies, including the classics you're going to see off to either side of us with our lovely movie poster timeline. You might spot some of your favorite Universal movies along the way. I always spot one of mine. It's a little comedy we made back in the 70s called Animal House.
Oh, yes.
You got any fans of that one?
Woohoo!
You should hang out more. It's got everything you need for a great comedy. A food fight scene, a big party scene, a huge parade at the end, a really funny scene with a horse. Cool when you're older, alright?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Until then, admire the artwork on the poster here on 78. I love the poster, I love the soundtrack, love the cast. It's a great movie, fun time. Now, we are unique from other movie studios in that we are technically our own city here. Universal City, California. We have our own zip code, our own branch of the Sheriff's Department, our own honorary. And over here up to the right side, you see this white building. That's our very own fire station. Fire Station 51, given that number, that designation, in honor of an old NBC show of ours called Emergency. But once we pass the fire station, we're going to head into the front lot of the studio where a majority of filming takes place. Most filming happens inside the most controlled environment possible. We call them sound stages. Now on the outside they don't look like much. They look like big warehouses. But inside is where we can make movie magic. I am not. Say hello to my little friend! Now, all of these sets, for all of these scenes, for all of these productions from inside this building coming up here off to your left as you hit the bottom of the hill, Soundstage 12. And that's what it looks like inside when it's ready for filming, and this is what it looks like inside before we do anything to it. A lot of hard work goes into building those amazing sets inside of our stages, but I won't talk too much about stages for now, because we're going to be heading into one a little later on in the tour. We have had some really great productions filming amongst these stages coming up here off to our left as we move forward. Some really great TV shows like Hacks on HBO Max with Gene Smart and Hannah Finder ran through our NBC comedy series starring Nicole Byer, as well as the second season of our Peacock original series Bel Air starring Jamari Banks. And the last two at the end of the row here, stages 7 and 8, is really unique. You can actually take down the partition between the two stages to make one giant set spread across both faces. That's precisely what they did for our comedy series Superstore a few years back with America Ferrera.
in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
There's the dressing rooms for the stars. In the early days of contract players, actors and actresses would be under contract to the studio for multiple picture deals, and they'd have an entire bungalow all to themselves. But now they function as offices for production companies. You might even see some of the company names as they're passing by. The director of Psycho, Rear Window, The Birds, Vertigo, amongst many other classic thrillers. That was his office once upon a time in Hollywood. Oh yeah. Thank you very much. Just redress them over and over and over again. You can use them over decades, over hundreds of productions. Any superhero movie fans? 2 hands back there. That's a fan reaction for sure. You'll see the Lyric Theater just over there, that big marquee off to the left side. That's where Mary Jane Watson was performing her big Broadway debut in The Importance of Being Earnest in Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker tried very hard to get to the show on time. He was a little sidetracked. He had to swoop in to save the day of Spider-Man. Got as far as the theater lobby before the usher turned him away. Just upholding Peter Parker's word. We also have Magnum P.I.'s Ferrari from that great show starring Tom Selleck. We have some Back to the Future vehicles as well. And just please remember to remain seated at all times, guys, for safety. Thank you so much. Got Biff Tannen's convertible, which looks and smells a lot better since it cleared out all the manure. Futuristic vehicles from Back to the Future Part 2 that pair very nicely next to these prehistoric ones featured in the Flintstones, so John Goodman and Rick Moranis. For my Wizarding World fans, this is the Ford Anglia that Ron and Harry drove to Hogwarts, the Weasley family car from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And a little further down, you'll notice that the gyrosphere from Jurassic World looks different. Yeah, it doesn't have the glass on it. It never did when they filmed the movie because glass is tricky to film. It's reflective. You never want to catch reflections of crew members, equipment, anything behind the scenes while you're watching the movie. Kind of takes away from the immersion of it all. We want to whisk you away to a whole new world, which we're actually going to do in just a moment. We're going to take you to a little island that's just off the coast of Costa Rica, and it does deserve a proper introduction. So, the boats from Jurassic Park 3 with Sam Neill and Teo Ioni.
Wow.
Across from that, on the left, we have the mobile lab unit from the Lost World Jurassic Park with Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore. And while we don't have to worry about too many dinosaur attacks today, what I can do to help really enhance the environment here is play some music from John Williams.
Yes.
Yes. The maestro of the movie is right there. The music really enhances everything. It enhances characters. You got character themes. You can enhance the environment, really set the tone, the ambiance, the mood, whether it's drama, action, comedy. Okay. I'm sorry. They're such clever girls. They keep finding a way out of their cages. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Look, if they got you, it should come out with a cold rinse, okay? You're going to use cold water. Get that out later, so. The more you know. Now, it is all about creative control here in the show business. Something we desperately want to control over as much as we could get in the early days was control over the weather. It's part of the reason we moved out here to nice sunny Southern California for the chance to film more frequently. You're about to see the kind of power we have over the elements just down the... You know what's coming next. In case you don't, spoiler alerts. It's rain. Overhead sprinkler system spray water straight up and out so it falls naturally, and bam! Instant rain whenever we need it. Now, we will make our raindrops larger than normal sized raindrops so they show up clearly on screen. If you ever watch a sporting event at home and there's a rain delay, you're like, it's not that bad, go out and finish the game. That's regular rain. Doesn't show up too well, so we make ours bigger to guarantee the effect. And of course, if you let the effect go on for too long, you run the risk of a little bit of a build-up. Kind of like this one. Heading down the hill right now towards our trolley, so everyone just watch out for the flash flood, okay?
Here it comes! Look out! Ah!
The result of thousands of gallons of water being pumped down the hill or recycled all the way up to the top. And that flash flood effect might look familiar if you saw our movie Big Fat Liar with Frank Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. Take a look.
Oh.
You cannot run the wall, kid! You got that. Hang on, funny motion!
I should have put my poncho on.
All washed up right there. Never had to worry about sound
Right
carrying
there.
over onto another's
Once upon a
production.
time in Hollywood.
I myself am a very big fan of westerns. And my favorite part of any Western that I happen to be watching, I'm just a really big fan of the fight scenes.
If you're just gonna start things up here. That I am.
Yes, perfect pause. Fastest fingers in the West. On your screens are legends Kirk Douglas and John Wayne. Kirk's on the left, John Wayne's on the right. John Wayne's a very tall man. Kirk Douglas is not as tall as John Wayne. They still have the same eye line though. Their knees don't quite match. That is because Kirk Douglas is standing on a little box covered with dirt. I just want you to keep this in the back of your mind while I let the rest of the clip play out. Now, if you peek through the trees here off to the left side to see a little body of water there, that is Park Lake. Played much bigger bodies of water. For example, is the Amazon River and Creature from the Black Lagoon. Also, for a really great classic TV show called McHale's Navy, that was the entire Pacific Ocean. And for some of their TV movies, not so much the main series, but the TV movies afterwards, that was Gilligan's Island. The earthquake has stopped. Oh, hang on. Bad news. Looks like the water main's broken.
Oh no!
Yeah. This area is going to flood quickly. We can work on getting out of here. That, my friends, this earthquake's a big one. In fact, what might look familiar if you saw that episode of Bones. In case you missed it, check it out here on your screen. That's another shark out there, and it's circling towards our diver. I really hope you can hear me. Officer, there's a shark in the water. Get to your boat. You're so close you can make it. Just start swimming right now. Gotta go right now. Go, 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 go. Well, you had a lot of guts to be out there, ladies and gentlemen. And there they are. Sure. You should be fine as long as you stay out of the water. You know, people go in the trolley goes in the water, sharks in the water, so. We're going to move someplace safer. Right here behind these barrels of flammable gasoline. Much safer right here. Actually, I have a theory, and maybe we can try it right now. We're starting to see a chain reaction start to form back there. We just need a little bit. There we go. My theory goes that sharks don't like fire. Fire doesn't mix well with water. Sharks live in water. You get where I'm going with that, right? It kind of tracks in a weird kind of way. Give it up for Bruce, the mechanical shark from the hit film Jaws.
I knew we were actually pretty right.
There's a photo right there. It's a great one. Now as we continue our journey, we're going to head a little further up the hill here, and as we do, we're going to pass by some suburban areas of our property, including Elm Street off to the left side. Not that one, just called Elm Street. The house on the end, yellow house, green roof, that house belonged to Boo Radley for our classic To Kill a Mockingbird, Gregory Peck and Robert Duvall. Across the road to the right side, you'll see this White House that was originally inside of the soundstage for a musical adaptation of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. Got relocated to our back lot when they were done filming. Here's this Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives.
There is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate. It's a good neighbor.
I really wish I could just pick a house and move in. Puts me closer to work, cuts down on my commute, helps the environment, helps me get more exercise. I see nothing but pros on this pro con list. So
Monster
far.
House.
Maybe one day they'll come around to my line, thank God. But yeah, this is where they filmed for 8 successful seasons of Desperate Housewives. Wisteria Lane for that show.
Wisteria Lane.
You can
for
see it
Desperate
almost every time you
Housewives.
turn on your TV, though. It's always in a commercial. I mean, like a lot. Commercials filmed here. Geico, Progressive, State Farm, Farmers Insurance, Toyota, Taco Bell, Mercedes-Benz, Apartments.com. The list goes on and on. Several music videos to shoot here with talented artists was Michael Bublé, Nelly, Kelly Rowland, Smash Mouth filmed their all-star video here. Now, some more recent productions to shoot here include Never Have I Ever, our continuation of Quantum Leap on NBC, our upcoming TED television series turned this area into Boston. I do want to point out this yellow house coming off here to the right. That was Susan's house on Desperate Housewives. I saw it a little earlier this year on the big screen. Great, fun movie from Universal that I felt made really good on its title, Cocaine Bear. Yeah, it was just a little mid-credit scene, just a couple of seconds, just a little bump of Cocaine Bear shot right there. Right next to it, that lavender house, that's the Munsters house right there. That is the Munsters house, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. And
Wisteria
I do
Lane.
have to point it out, it's a really fun 80s comedy from us here at Universal. This is Mayfield Place. This is the street in the burbs with Tom
Oh,
Hanks.
nice.
Really fun movie. A majority of the action takes place right here on Colonial Street.
Looks so real.
Interior filming inside of sound stages, but the main location is right there. They don't really deviate from Mayfield Place in the entire movie. Long after the credits have rolled, kind of stays with you a while, crawls under your skin, slightly warps and permeates your psyche a bit. Now, I know we kind of got an early start to our day. Just want to offer while we're here. Does anyone need to grab a shower really quick? She's like, no. That was a test. You passed with flying colors back there. Because you take a shower here, you start hearing this. Now, can you believe that Alfred Hitchcock originally planned to have the shower scene with no music? Can you imagine Psycho without this?
No, I cannot.
Right? Bernard Herrmann had to convince him. Later on, Hitchcock said, yeah, you were right. You're right. Now, just past the Bates house here, we're going to head into a doozy of a set. The Crash set from Steven Spielberg's 2005 version of War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise.
Whoa. War of the Worlds. Look at this. Tom Cruise movie. How realistic
I always
looking
get
is
curious
this?
when we're driving through this set. Is anyone flying anytime soon? You'll be fine. Don't let the
Wow.
set psych you out. Don't let that under your skin. You'll be just fine. Now, this is a real 747 aircraft purchased by the production from an airplane graveyard. Cost them around $60,000 for the plane. Cost them around $200,000 just to get it shipped here. It's in the movie for one scene for less than 5 minutes of total screen time. Here's a chunk of it here on your screens.
The airplane crash site is a perfect example of a set that is all designed about a vision of Steve.
I really wanted a photo with the Psycho house.
Robbie, get in. Get in. Wouldn't have had to tell me twice. I would have gotten it the first time. But that's just me. Robbie is his own character, written very well by David Kevin, played very well by Justin Chatwin as the angry, angsty teenage boy. So we're going to leave behind the remnants of this alien attack from War of the Worlds, and we're going to head towards one of the newest additions to the world.
From the film,
Over
no.
there, look into the winking.
The Jordan Peele movie,
Have your
nope.
picture taken just
Jupiter's
like
Plane
that old 90s movie
here at
Kid
Universal
Show.
Studios.
That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's so live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center.
See if I can bring that up for you right here. There we go. She solved a lot of murders over 12 seasons. She never once said the shark did it. I call that a missed opportunity.
15,000 square feet right here inside of Soundstage 42.
So here we are inside a soundstage.
next door to Soundstage 43. I kind of talked about that earlier with Superstore.
Number
Some of
42.
the stages do have the side doors that lead to
And this black
connecting it.
soundproofing material on the wall is what allows a soundstage to be so soundproof.
Again, I mentioned
Hello, hello.
jungle sets inside of 14 for Jurassic
No
Park.
echo or anything.
But we also do a multitude of different things for interior
crazy.
spaces as well. We got enough room here. We can about maybe, I imagine about 4 solid sound levels right here. So maybe 4 levels of a house, all right next to each other. And what I always like too is sometimes with like staircases, I talk like when we're inside the earthquake attraction. All right. Usually those staircases inside of a soundstage space, once you go around the corner, once you're out of view of the camera, the stairs just kind of end. It doesn't actually connect to the second floor. So sometimes you'd have to go up the stairs. To go up the stairs, you
See if I
gotta go
can
across the
hear
street
you
inside of a
guys.
different sound stage.
Can I hear you guys? I don't know.
Or vice versa.
This is Little Europe on the Universal Studios backlot. This is where much of The Good Place was filmed.
But it is awesome. It's a terrific show that I wholeheartedly recommend. 4 seasons, you can stream it on Peacock or Netflix. It's so good. There's also the fictional Kingdom of Zenobia, The Princess Diaries 2 and Royal and Hathaway and Juliet.
It's kind of hard to film on a moving bus.
Tortuga and Port Royal, the first 3 of Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean movies starring Johnny Depp and Keira Knightley. But if it's one thing this area is known for, it's known for its monster movie history. All the big name monsters got their start right here. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, who's right over by those lampposts on the left. Thanks for looking. I appreciate it. He's invisible. That's what makes him so scary. See if I've got to get an alternate angle on our Jaws attraction right here.
You can see it from above.
There's Bruce! Bruce on the news! That's a different location guy.
In movies, it's all about getting coverage. You want different angles, you want multiple takes, so you can edit it all later on to get the best possible movie. All the hard work built for hours and hours. Deep and fun. Always watch your step. Once we're in position and then a safe stop to our vehicle, we'll head off. I'll tell you a little bit more about one of the greatest movies Universal's ever made.
This is the first time they've actually let us off the bus to walk around some of the backlot here. And they let us off at a place called Amity, a little town called Amity. So you can enjoy walking around here and see what we can see. It's Bruce! It's Bruce! Uh-oh! 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 That man is in danger! No, it's not good at all. That's not gonna end well. Area. What's going on? What's going on? Frozen! No! I can feel the heat from all the way over here. And there's Bruce again! Oh no! There he goes! One of the greatest shark stories ever told, Jaws. Of course, it was not filmed here, as everybody knows. It was filmed in Martha's Vineyard, but this is still kind of fun.
One to be seen straight on, one to be seen from either side. They did not really work too well on production. Very first time they tried to put the shark in the Atlantic Ocean for filming, it sank. saltwater just did not agree with our mechanical sharks, caused a big delay in the production, pushed it over 100 days past the schedule, causing crew members to nickname the production Flaws. They got by through humor. But they had to get really clever, really creative. They had a really talented editor on the cast, Verna Fields. She would go on to win an Oscar for editing the movie Jaws. She reassured a young Steven Spielberg, it's okay, we don't need to see the shark. Sometimes you don't need to see it, you just need to imply a presence. So, they got more point of view shots, as if you're seeing through the eyes of the shark. Seeing a shark is scary. Sometimes it's more scary knowing that there's a shark out there, not knowing where it's going to pop up next, and seeing unsuspecting swimmers sticking their feet in the water. And then, of course, playing the John Williams score.
Uh-oh.
John Williams had such an amazing discipline.
Here we go again. Here we go again. There he goes. That diver. Oh, hasn't he learned his lesson by now? Oh, that's not good. Clear the area. Clear the area, guys. There's something dangerous out there. Gotta clear the area. Ah. And there's Bruce again. Woo! He's doing push-ups on the water. I can feel the heat from all the way over here.
Now you know why the shark pops up 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 baptized. You get 4 blasts for the price of 1. Come on down this way, guys. We're going down the road.
Definitely a weird ride, dude.
That's Adam the Woo back there. He's saying he's done this tour several times, and this is the first time he's done this tour where they've actually let you off the bus at this location. And it is pretty cool to see it from this this angle instead of from the bus. Now we're going somewhere else. Oh, look, Amity Island. See what's ahead for us here.
Three Amigos. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. This is where they filmed the silent Three Amigos Western that the villagers of Santa Poco see on the big screen, say, these guys can help us out against El Guapo. They go right up through the telegraph office. The story kicks off from there. So he used authentic silent film era sets for his silent film within his movie. It's popped up in a more recent comedy, relatively speaking, as Mexico in Nacho Libre with Jack Black. But again, we can make these sets look like any place, any time period. This street that we're on right here, you see right here to the right side, these archways. They altered them to make them look more like a keyhole shape. They hung the appropriate decorations, and for a split-second cutaway gag in the movie Hop with Russell Brand and James Marsden, they made you think this was a street in China. And even though it's on screen for less than a minute between the cutaway gag and the post-credit scene that they use it to cut back to, they were here for about a week.
Out here in the Western set, on the back lot, Universal Studios. He was in so many movies. One of my favorites, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's another tram ride going through. Yeah, just up the road there. Hopefully we'll get the chance to see it up close.
Once you're done, you want to strike all the particular decorations free. You can get really fanciful with it too. This area right here off to the left side, so this nice fenced off area on the top. This was a bar on a Romulan outpost planet for an episode of Star Trek Picard with Sir Patrick Stewart. This also was a futuristic theme park, or at least part of one, for season 1, episode 5 of one of my favorite shows in recent years, Westworld on HBO, with Evan Rachel Wood and Ed Harris. This is where Jimmy Simpson's character and his soon-to-be brother-in-law venture further out into the park, because they hear the further you go out, the more HBO it gets. Now, still to this day, probably one of the biggest productions ever filmed here. They shot here when I first got the job here. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This was the first time Indy was going to grace the big screen in something like 18, 19 years. It was very much a top secret production. They put up big barricades so no one could see into the area. And what I love about big, high budget, high profile productions like that, oftentimes they'll actually code name the entire production. Meant to throw people off the scent. It won't say Indy 4, it won't say Crystal Skull. It'll say genre. And copies of the script, the shooting schedule, the clapperboard when they say action.
And hope our tour guide will tell us a little bit more, but if you know the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you will remember Leonardo sitting on that front porch in his chair and the little girl sitting there reading a book. And he's kind of depressed and she actually tries to cheer him up. We're gonna get close to it. But this is more of Western town out here on the back lot of Universal Studios.
The town, guys, do me another big favor. Don't, again, walking on any of the wooden platforms. I don't trust the wood. I don't want anyone's foot going through.
This is it right here.
We're going to just go right over here. I just want to keep everyone to the side in case any problems. Western Street, they have to cover up these paved roads. Didn't have it so easy back then. So part of the set decoration they have to rent is the dirt necessary to cover up these roads. It's special Hollywood dirt that's been pre-sifted for anything sharp. We don't want anyone stepping on anything sharp, especially a horse that may be carrying an actor. They pick up for the actor, it's a horse, it's an actor, no good. Also, a lot of the smaller dust particles have been taken out. Don't want
This is so cool, walking along the western part of the back lot. Seeing all these western buildings. All the things that were filmed here. It's amazing.
The buildings on this end of the road here that we passed by on our way down are built on a slightly smaller scale, so anytime the camera picks it up from a certain angle, it looks like it's a lot further away, it looks like a much bigger town. You may have noticed as we were driving around, a lot of our streets curve on the ends. So it looks like the street just continues on in that direction. It's all about what's in the frame versus what's not in the frame. You frame your shot up, you frame your shot perfectly, it looks good like that. Plus, I always like to think about the fact that the bandits can hold up the bank here, and if they have to lay low from the law, go across the border to Mexico, it's right there. You gotta remember this place. Maybe you do that thing where they say, drinks are on me.
Wow. Check that out.
Now, if you want to feel how real the bricks are, you can go right ahead.
Adam's taking advantage of that. I think I will too. Wow. Pretty hollow.
You
Cool.
guys, I want to see if I can squeeze in one last thing really quick before we head back into the theme park. So we got our vehicle right over here.
Stages back there.
Now, a lot of big stars actually got their start working as day players for Western television shows back in their heyday. They needed good guys or bad guys for the weekly episodes of shows like Wagon Train and Virginia. We actually had 2 day players that were hired here at Universal. They got fired on the same day. I bring this up because I'm pretty sure you've heard these guys' names before. Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds. They're both let go from Universal on the same day as Western Day players. Clint Eastwood was let go because he was told that his Adam's apple was too prominent and unphotogenic, so he said bye. And Burt Reynolds was just straight up told to his face, you can't act. Now, I know the name Burt Reynolds, I know the name Clint Eastwood, but if you were to ask me the name of the guy who thought to fire them, I got nothing for you. It's lost to history. That person and their infinite wisdom.
His career is toast.
Sometimes you don't know until you know, you know? I always like hearing about when actors were originally offered roles or they're going to go in a different direction, that sort of thing. George Lucas wanted Tom Selleck for Indiana Jones. You can look up audition footage. He did a screen test with fellow actor Sean Young.
No. The tour guide was telling us earlier that some of Bird Box was filmed inside this wooded area here, and that Sandra Bullock actually wore a blindfold during the filming
of those scenes in the
Alright
woods.
folks, now must actually proved a vital picture card inside of our theme park when they filmed an episode of a really great comedy series called Arrested Development. We turned a little bit of our theme park into a tourist trap town called Wee Britain. And that was mainly used as decoration, but also to block off further viewing the rest of the theme park. They parked it diagonal, they parked it long ways, starting to block off the rest of the street and the traffic for the theme park. I do enjoy this Plymouth Roadrunner from the Fast and Furious. Alright. So once more passing by the Bates Motel and soon to be heading up to the Bates house up ahead here.
Is Norman around today?
I'm not sure. I don't know when he checks in here. But let's see.
You know, as the owner of a motel, you got to be on site.
I know, he's
you
got
know.
12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there he is.
Norman!
Right over there.
What have you done? What have you done, Norman?
Yeah, he's just doing upkeep, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks a little
Lots of work
suspicious with that trunk open. I think he's up to no good over there.
Room service. Turn down service and one cabin, one right up. Oh, okay. Can't look away.
Oh my gosh. What is that?
You don't even see that.
That looks like a body.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is called express checkout at the Bates Motel right here. Bring it on out to your car.
Norman, you've
Tom,
been a
for some reason.
very bad boy. This is my favorite movie of all time. For a favorite
You
horror
didn't see
movie.
anything.
Norman, what have you done, Norman?
No.
Ah! Hi, Norman! There it is! The Psycho House! The one and only!
Alright, folks. If anyone would like, I'll set you up with a photo in front of the Bates house. We're going to do this one at a time because we are going to be dipping into some road traffic. We're going to play crossing guard and
There's
photographer.
the Psycho House in its full glory. They let me off the bus quickly to take a photo. I'm so excited. Buddies over there getting their own shot. We got it. We got the Psycho House.
Alright, Mary, what do you think?
I'm speechless. It's the Psycho House. It's Alfred Hitchcock, Norman Bates, Janet Leigh. I mean, it was my first horror movie that I watched in the basement of the home I grew up in as a child, all alone in the dark.
Mary, did you see the mom in the window?
No, I didn't.
Lots of them.
And I knew I was a horror fan at that point. Not even horror,
The guys made
suspense.
return trip around.
I can't. Oh, there she is. Mama's up in the window. Norman Bates' mother. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but I can see her right there. Let's see. There she is, Mrs. Bates up in the window. The Psycho House. Oh my gosh. This is like a bucket list thing for me. Bucket list come true. Bye, Norman. Bye, Mrs. Bates. So good to see you. Yes. That's the back of the Bates Motel.
Alright. On our way out, we are going to be passing through the War of the Worlds set once more. Now, you'll notice that the top of the plane's been removed. Initially, that was done for the very practical reason that these plane pieces are being shipped out on flatbed trucks and to be able to clear highway overpasses. They had every intention originally of putting the top of the plane back on, but once they saw what it looked like this, they said, that's cool. That's a creepy look. Adds more mystery. What happened to the plane? What happened to the passengers? Why are there no bodies in the seats? It's really so they can get a PG-13 rating. More tickets sold. Smart business decision all around. You'll also notice a very strategically placed scorch mark on this third piece of fuselage right here. That scorch mark's very conveniently covering up the Boeing logo. Understandably, a company like Boeing does not want imagery like this associated with their brand. You always have to get permission, clearance, so we sometimes call it. If they don't sign off, we can't feature their logo. We got to cover it up or alter it ever so slightly. As you come around this turn too, you'll see this big blue wall, currently on the right, soon to be on our left side. Yeah. That is our Falls Lake backdrop right back there. Now, before that backdrop even existed, it was featured in a movie that I know we have a fan of right here. So, this is where Norman Bates stashed all the victims in the movie Psycho, wheeled their vehicles down to the lake, never to be seen again. And on top of the backdrop wall there, that's just a painting of clouds. This is the pre-CGI days, but it's a really convincing effect. He's also featured in scenes in Jurassic Park 3, The Hulk, starring Eric Bana, the splashdown scene for Apollo 13, then years later Tom Hanks came back as Captain Sullenberger for the movie Sully. It's where Jim Carrey walked on water in Bruce Almighty. George Clooney survived a flood in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. It's where one of my favorite filmmakers shot 2 of his movies. Christopher Nolan first shot there for his movie Inception. That's where the man hits the water in the first level of the dream, ticking time bomb of the movie. Came back years later, 6 of battleships for his World War II epic Dunkirk. Tom Hardy there. That's Warner Brothers. A collection of tan buildings. You can see their water tower out there as well. Now you know they look up to us. They're doing it right now. That's how altitude works. That said, we do not look down on them. That would be rude, very unneighborly. But we got to give a big round of applause for our driver, James. Taking us around safe and sound and in style from point A to B to everywhere.